ethically downwards direction, leading to consequences that people do things when they are around a psychopath that they wouldn't normally do. For example, engaging in bullying behavior, engaging in ethically questionable financial misstatements or misrepresentations, and not drawing a line or whistleblowing when they could have the opportunity to do so.
Wow. Now, where can we read your paper? Is it publicly out there on the web?
No, it was published in the Journal of Business Ethics, which is a leading business and ethics journal. And it's also been published in a book that came out of mine called Corporate Psychopaths, Organizational Destroyers. And I think that's available through most website bookshops.
Oh, good. I want to read that, because from my research, just in the field, studying different types of psychopaths, the really high IQ ones, they know how to recruit different types of people. The mercenary class, sociopaths, other psychopaths, though sometimes they're intimidated by those and worried. And, it's kind of like Stalin emptying out all the prisons with the murderers and rapists and making them the heads of his secret police regionally because he knew they'd get the job done. I mean, I think throughout history, we really see manifestations of this over and over again.
Well, yeah, as you say, I think there are certain characters in history who certainly seem to have pronounced psychopathic tendencies. And, the examples we've given of people who have killed or millions of civilians without blinking an eyelid or losing a night's sleep over it. We've been slow to realize, or academia and psychologists have been slow to realize, that not all psychopaths are those violent criminal psychopaths. And some prefer the much more easy life of a corporate executive, where they can, even if they're found out in terms of their fraudulent or embezzling or misrepresentation activities, the punishments they get are relatively light and easy compared to their more criminal brethren.
Is the global corporate structure, from your research, are they aware of this? Hopefully your book, or because from my research, it's like there's mega psychopath families that actually interbreed and have those ruthless tendencies. That may not be all pure psychopaths, but have those tendencies, and that they know they're actually trying to recruit the ruthless person. But I think what you're getting at, I haven't read your book yet, I read the articles about it, is that they're even destabilizing the power structures own systems and combines and companies because they're not company men. So in a way, it's almost like sabotaging the globalist-owned system.
Well, yeah, in many ways, they are the unacceptable face of capitalism. They go too far in the pursuit of their own self-interest, to the extent of destroying the very environment that's given them the opportunity in the first place. So I think it's in everybody's interest, from the top right to the bottom, from the bottom right to the top, I should say, to identify and monitor these people to make sure the damage they do isn't on too wide a scale to put right.
Dr. Clive Boddy is our guest. What got you interested in this? How long have you been researching this? And if you were talking to a group of academics and had 3-4 minutes to kind of break down the core research on psychopaths in corporate world?
Well, I've been researching it since 2005 now at Curtin University in Australia, and then back here in Nottingham Business School in the UK, which I've just left, just because it's too far away from where I live. The key thing about psychopaths is to realize is they've got absolutely no conscience, and therefore there isn't a good side of them to appeal to. There isn't a moral side of them to appeal to. They'll do whatever it takes to get what they want. So totally ruthless, totally without emotion, totally self-centered. And that means they'll commit things like, well, the theory is they'll commit things like fraud and embezzlement whenever they get the chance. There's, again, like the corporate psychopaths theory of the global financial crisis, the link between fraud and psychopaths isn't proven yet. It's just a theory, but it's a very logical.
But there is almost a fearlessness associated, because it's not just they don't care, they're also pretty reckless sometimes.
Yeah, they have a relative lack of, well, because they have a relative lack of emotion, they have therefore a relative lack of fear. And for example, if you caught them lying, they wouldn't be flustered or bothered by it. They'd just carry on with another lie that covers up the first one. Whereas you or I would be embarrassed and stumble over our words and things like that.
Well, you know, Doc, I've got some research just from watching people and studying history. It's not just that, quote, good people are goody two-shoes and have this conscience and feel bad. It's that it's almost, to use a gross analogy, like kids peeing in the public pool. At a certain point, if everybody's peeing in the pool, it makes the pool not a good place to swim anymore. And so it's just a basic human instinct to build up the tribe, build up civilization. It's normal, good, decent people who are honorable that help build civilization. And then it's the parasite psychopaths and their minions, control freaks and others, that always kind of make up their legions, who are the bane of humanity. And I think for human development, the key is to recognize the psychopath and their henchmen, the sociopaths. What's your take on that?
Well, yeah, you've sort of portrayed them as monsters, and in many ways they are. But the key thing about them is when you meet them, they come across as almost better than everybody else. More charming, more sophisticated, more presentable. And so they make you feel as if you've just met your next best friend. And therefore they wheedle their way into your lives. And by the time that you realize who they really are, the destruction has already been done. And you're usually the worse off for it, either financially or emotionally or both.
So there's the silver tongue associated with the psychopath.
With corporate psychopaths, certainly, and to some extent with criminal psychopaths as well, because Robert Hare's work shows they can talk their way out of, when they're talking to parole boards, for example, they can present as if they're a very reformed character. They're born-again Christians, or they're discovered spirituality, or they've turned a new leaf, they've seen the error of their ways, and they'll say whatever they can or whatever they need to get themselves out of the pickle that they're in at that particular time. So they'll tell you what you want to hear.
Well, my concern is the reign of the psychopath, and we've seen it throughout history. Obviously, Hitler and things like that is about to be upon us, because these corporate psychopaths have now gotten their people in almost every global management position. And that's how they can just now basically do anything. And civilization is about to basically, if this whole New World Order, as they call it, is built, and I know you've managed major market research growth companies around the world. You've probably run into quite a few of them. We're about to experience the high-tech world of the psychopath, and people don't wake up to this danger. How do people, again, find your book? Give us the title and any other tidbits in closing you'd like to give us.
Yeah, the book is this one. It's called Corporate Psychopaths, Organizational Destroyers. You can find it on most e-commerce sites, I think, or Amazon, for example. It's an academic book, so it's published by Palgrave Macmillan, or you could find it in academic bookshops. It's not written in a popular style, I should hasten to add. It presents the research that's been done about corporate psychopaths and the effect that they have on various influences like corporate social responsibility, bullying, productivity, etc.
Amazing. Well, I notice your book's getting some attention. Your paper's getting a lot of attention. I think that's really great because we need to have a discussion about this. From your research, so it's about 1% of the population's a psychopath?
Yeah, I'm taking Hare's figure. I mean, Robert Hare is the authority on
yeah. What about sociopaths? 1 out of 20?
I don't know enough about that, to be honest, to give a figure.
What about artificial psychopaths and sociopaths? Because this culture run by psychopaths, and let's just admit it pretty much is artificially tortures good, secret arrest, war, blood, death, the simulated murders. I mean, they are artificially, the social engineers, or if you got into that, trying to basically turn us, at least at a certain level, into them?
You mean through things like desensitization?
Well, just, I mean, the Roman gladiatorial events, you might be killed in it the next week, but you'd still cheer as your neighbor was torn in half. I mean, clearly, social engineers for thousands of years have understood that. And I just see the public, a larger percentage, turning into getting large stripes down their backs. Not even so much of psychopathic behavior, but more sadistic.
Yes. So was there a question? Sorry.
Well, no, I'm just asking you if you've. I hope you do more research into how psychopaths actually build structures, because you were talking about how they influence. From my research, they actually are experts, the high functioning ones, at putting different types into their organizations. Legions of psychopaths.
Well, I think they surround themselves with yes men, yeah, so Machiavellians maybe, or narcissists, people who have a vested interest in rising alongside the corporate psychopath without directly challenging them. So they'll go along for the ride in order to gain the financial benefits that go with that. So they create a nexus of support within organizations, a little political in-group that they take with them, sometimes wherever they go. They will insist on taking their own team with them, for example, because they know they can control and manipulate those people and get them to do what they want them to do.
Amazing. All right, Doc, incredible work. Look forward to speaking to you in the future.
Okay, you're welcome.
Wow. Well, that powerful interview, and I'm glad that Rob Dew saw this article in the Star and several others, because we're going to go to break and come back with Gerald Celente and see what the psychopaths have done to him. Just incredible. So we're going to go to break here at InfoWars Nightly News and come right back with Gerald Celente and MF Global, the CME Group, and a lot more. Stay with us. If you believe in this information and want to support its viral spread, go to the InfoWars store at InfoWars.com. We've got the new G.I. Joe InfoWars t-shirts. We've got the incredible ProPure gravity-fed filters available at InfoWars.com in the store. We've got a new DVD, Scientists Under Attack, the Don't Tread on Me flag. We've got all sorts of different bumper stickers to help spread the rebellion virally. It's all there. Wristbands, citizen rule books in every order. Order online at InfoWars.com today. The water filters, the canteens. It's all there. InfoWars.com. It's InfoWars Nightly News, Monday, the 28th day of November, 2011, and we're in our final segment here tonight. And rarely would I have a guest on the radio show and then have him back on the TV, but Gerald Celente got breaking news towards the end of the interview today, at the end of the radio show, that is just amazing. A month into MF Global and Corzine now saying that $3 billion is missing. First it was $600 million. And saying that they wouldn't tell the public where the money had gone. The trustees knew, but sorry, you can't be told. He got in the mail the letters from them explaining that there'd been a statement correction. And this is a new form from my research of a run on the bank. It's an internal run on the bank, or almost what you'd call a bank holiday, where they just for a month said, we don't know what's going on, just wait, it'll be all right. Some of you won't get your money, some will. Oh, now there's a correction. Something different happened in your account. Unbelievable. And I've got Reuters articles, you name it, where this is shaking the commodities market, not just here, but worldwide, and shaking other markets as people say, wait a minute, is anything safe with these people? So joining us for the next 15 minutes is top trends forecaster from the Trends Journal, Gerald Celente. Gerald, thanks for being with us.
Oh, my pleasure, Alex, as always.
Well, this is big breaking news. I mean, you're now being given a new flim-flam story. For almost a month, you were told that just don't worry about it. Now they've got a story for you because the MF Global thing won't go away. Break it down for laymen like myself and people out there. What happened to you and the new information?
Yes, and I'm doing this also so people realize that anything they're told by any bank, brokerage, insurance company, the government, anything that they're told, it's not worth the paper it's printed on. And so here's what happened with me.